D&D booster draft. Pick a magic item, pass it to your right.
Hey, I do have a question for you though, Rick.
Yeah.
On the party loot sheet, the one thing we don't have a gold piece value next to is seven beautiful and complete flatware sets made of porcelain and gold.
Hmm.
We know a pawnbroker, don't we?
Hold on a second. So, two things about these. First of all, each one would appraise out to 25 gold. Each set, that is. Second, while the inspectors were there the other morning, they noted that they radiated faint magic and would have asked you a little bit about them.
If they radiated magic, we would have identified them.
Okay. Eating a meal off of one of these plates has a 5% chance of discharging a charm person spell into the diner.
Who is considered to have cast the spell?
The plate.
So they just do whatever the plate wants?
The plate is your friend?
That is you have identified the magic on the item.
I love this plate. This plate's awesome.
This plate is horrifying.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in the miscellaneous magic bullshit that just piles up in Seeker's room.
Why is it always the... I feel like there's like something about being a shorter race that makes you just like freaking Gollum.
No, listen, here's how it goes, right? Is we have the plates and we set them on as a table setting when we have a client over. Then they eat from the plates, and if they seem like they really like the plates afterwards, we offer to give it to them as a gift. And that's how we get goodwill.
I second this idea. You guys should totally do that. So what do you do with your very generous gift that you've received?
If we weren't in public, Gus would be pissing on them.
Well, we are in public, so you have to come up with something else.
That seems unnecessary, but okay.
I'm just gonna pack them up less carefully this time and carry them down the ladder.
Carry them down the ladder, or just push it.
No, that's just gonna break a crate and make a bunch of mess.
Gus is
We just carry. Listen, if you want to throw a crate somewhere, you can go toss this crate, break it up anywhere you want, throw it out where things get thrown out. Have fun.
Gus is just angry.
I don't appreciate being taunted.
So Lucius appreciates being taunted. That's what I heard.
I don't appreciate being taunted.
I don't even think one of these dresses would fit you.
I mean, I'm not interested in seeing if they fit me,
Okay.
but what I am interested in is passing the word on to Oswald and then coming back to the Burge.
Okay.
So this actually comes up with another question for you guys that I have. The only people that know assuming that he didn't get it, there's two options where the Flying Pig got the information that we took that in as payment, that dress. One, he tortured the little girl, and got it from her. Well, not necessarily tortured. He got it from her, or he got it from the Black Jackets. Those are the only two people that know.
Or three, the little girl.
I mean, the little girl disappeared. I have to assume it's the little girl.
Yeah.
I mean, you were in the little girl's brain, Seeker. You cast Detect Thoughts on her.
No, I didn't. I didn't know it at the time.
I thought you did.
Detect thoughts?
Yeah.
Did I cast it on her?
You did for
Yeah,
a little
I'm
while.
pretty sure. Yeah. So, like, you were in her brain, and she was legitimately scared, and all this other stuff.
Oh, right. That's why we agreed to help her. Yeah.
Right. So, like,
You know the whole premise for this nonsense?
it's like that's why, like, I'm assuming that she's not in on it.
I mean, if I were a little girl scared of a devil man, I would probably tell him whatever he wanted to know too.
Well,
yeah, I know, but
I mean, I'm going to put it this way: is The best way I know of looking into this, I have done every action I could, and now I'm working on this book, which is our next best kit. If you know a faster way of looking into it, I would love to hear it.
Well, we
What
could
about the
perform the
wax?
ritual.
Sound good to everyone? We use the ritual, find out what we can get.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a dream spell, so I'm gonna go into a trance when this happens. Seeker, I want you reading my mind. Gus, you can keep me from getting mind controlled, right?
How?
I thought it was something you could do.
No.
Box his ears.
I could punch you until you're unconscious.
I thought you had some sort of abjuration for that one. Okay.
I have protection from evil and good.
Doesn't that stop mind control?
Does it? Let me see.
Gus is very new to the
Stuff.
whole spells thing.
Creatures of the type. Yeah, you can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by. Yeah, okay.
So that's my vote. We all go down to my lab. We get a detect. I cast the ritual. Once I fall into the trance, you detect thoughts on me, Gus. Before I do that, you put the protection on me. Do we have anything else we can use?
So detect thoughts lasts for 1 minute. Protection from evil and good lasts for 10 minutes. Whereas dream lasts for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we know for sure is you can't be charmed or frightened within the first 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I've got 7 hours and 50 minutes to have my way with you.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We also have one more lead that I'm hesitant to follow up on because the gentleman still scares the crap out of Gus. But apparently, he might know something about the children and where they were hiding out. He might know where she got the letter from. As an avenue, not necessarily to find her, but to figure out where to backtrack the flying pig. And also, remember the gentleman hinted that he kind of knew more about it was going on, but he was going to charge us 50 gold pieces a pop, so. Because he's an asshole.
I think he's willing to tell you whatever you want to hear for 50 gold as many times as you want to hear it.
Mhm.
I don't think
we're
he's
gonna
super
get
useful.
much- Yeah,
Like I said,
we're
I'm
much further
hesitant.
out of him.
I'm hesitant to follow that lead, but pretty much only if we get desperate.
With respect, I think that should be just dismissed completely out of hand.
Last resort. Last resort, guys.
Yeah, like I said, last resort.
Last resort.
All right. So Alex, you're casting this dream ritual.
Yep.
Where are we in the barge when we do this?
His
Everybody pile into the lab.
laboratory.
Yep.
Where's the crate full of dresses when you do this?
Oh no, are we going to be attacked by dresses now?
Just tell me where the crate is. Nobody has to get hurt.
So there's not a crate full of dresses because Seeker didn't bother carrying the crate down because it seemed unwieldy. He
Where's-
just rolled up the dresses and brought them.
Where's this pile of dresses at now?
Let's call it Seeker's room.
Okay.
That's where I keep all the dangerous evil artifacts wanting to kill me.
Very good.
This seems like a bad idea. I'm all for it.
Perform the ritual casting dream. Having backtraced using this magic sealing wax. I expected you guys to do this weeks and weeks and weeks ago.
We got
It's fine.
We got a little distracted.
A little distracted. Yeah, there was like a dragon and some ogres and a guy. Alex, you're the one pulling the trigger on this, yes?
Yeah.
And what are your surface thoughts for the time when Seeker has
Yeah,
his fingers
Seeker does
in
it for the first minute, and then he tells them to get him if he starts screaming, and he'll cast it again.
For the first minute, I'm asleep.
Right.
Right, I fall into a catatonic state as soon as I cast the ritual.
It's Seeker naked, you can say it.
Just surface thoughts of how much he hates his father.
The Lollipop Guild dancing around.
Surface thoughts are probably just thinking back to all the times we've dealt with the agents of the flying pig.
Also, there's a naked badger for some reason.
Gross. So, Seeker, you get those thoughts for the full minute, the full duration of your spell.
And then, yeah, that's when I say, alright, I'm not going to waste another spell slot on this. He didn't pick up the phone immediately. Last few times someone has talked to the flying pig, they've started screaming, so let me know if he starts yelling.
Alex, you're trained in Arcana, yes?
Nope.
No. Very good. Make an insight check at disadvantage.
It's 6.
And what does Alex dream about typically?
The Underdark.
Do you ever dream
College.
about just solving a riddle book?
Sometimes.
Because I'll be honest with you, like if I've played like a Misters game or something for 8 straight hours and I go to bed, that's what I dream about. And then I wake up like, oh, I used all my good brain power in the dream.
He very frequently has that dream where there's a test he forgot to prepare for.
Didn't make enough acid. Gets laughed out of school. And you have very normal dreams.
Didn't make enough mayonnaise.
And Gus, your protection from stuff spell ends after 10 minutes. Alex.
Mm-hmm.
In the dream, the instructor who is rapping your knuckles for not having prepared enough acid the night before, the dream suddenly takes a very dark turn. As instead of just rapping your knuckles with a ruler, you realize the teacher is holding some kind of cleaver and is hacking through your fingers at the bone, over and over again, maniacally. And her admonishments turn into devilish language and laughter. In the classroom, the walls start bleeding, and the windows grow teeth, and outside you see great rampaging monsters trundling across the landscape.
Okay, doing my best to commit this to memory. Is there any distinctive features on this teacher demon?
Tentacles are reaching out of her face and starting to latch around your body and torso.
Okay. Okay, remember the tentacles.
Then everything comes to a very sharp halt. You hear a voice behind you speak. Did I make it distinctive enough for you? Is it to your liking?
You know, there are enough things with tentacles that I might need more specifics.
The voice says, I wouldn't want to not live up to your expectations of me.
Can I turn around and see him, or am I restrained?
No, you move the tentacles aside with your fingerless hands, which you realize are no longer bleeding or aching, and looking down, you see your fingers are intact.
Mm-hmm.
Turning around, you see a monstrous creature, good 20 feet tall, with a horrible forked beard, fire red skin, wearing plate armor covered with all sorts of infernal sigils and decoration. And it stoops down very, very low. Places its elbow on the ground next to you. Places his head in its hand, starts stroking the forked beard coming off of its chin. Is this what you expected?
You know, I wasn't sure what to expect. Seems almost a little cliched.
He says, maybe we can go with classical.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, this is just traditional.
I could murder you here, of course, and it would be extraordinarily easy.
Right.
So why shouldn't I do that?
I mean, where's the fun in that?
He motions behind you with his other hand, and he says, to travel to this place along the magics that you have used. And he lifts up one finger behind you. You see he's lifting a silken thread that's draped over his finger, and following it you see that it snakes along the ground and then up your body and into the base of your neck. And in the other direction it snakes off of his hand and down, out the window and out into distance innumerable. And he holds this thread between his finger. And he turns it around and holds a second finger up to make scissors around it. He says it would be this easy.
Sure, but if you were going to do that, you'd have already done it. So, what are we going to do? What are we here for?
Well, perhaps I think I can make use of you.
That seems likely. I'm not dead.
Perhaps I have already made use of you.
Yeah. Boy, I don't like the thought of that one, but yeah.
He tells you that this is your audience, that you're the one who has something to say.
Well, I mean, you're holding all the cards. What can I even say? There's obviously nothing you need from us except, I don't know, amusement from taunting us.
Make a wisdom saving throw. Actually, let me double check the spell. I think it's wisdom, but I'm going to double check. Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
And is this against magic or a spell?
Oh, yes.
15.
Okay. Those of you on the outside, watching Alex for maybe 20 or 30 minutes after Gus's spell ends, you can see his face start to contort slightly, as though in distress. But he doesn't wake up.
Should I cast it again? Like, is this is not screaming?
No, I didn't. Let's let it ride, I say.
Alex, the creature describes the travel that you've undergone in great detail. He tells you that every part of your essence, every part of your mind that makes up your personality, your individuality, has left your body behind, has traveled beyond the sun and stars, beyond the skies, beyond the outer reaches of everything you know, the whole dome that you see above you, at day or at night. And in seconds has traveled uncountable miles. He asks if you understand what he's saying.
Well, I'm pretty sure if you were to ask, I'm pretty sure yes, I think I understand. I think the answer to where am I is that there's a mathematical formula for that question.
He tells you to make no mistake that you are here now. If you thought you would be, your physical form would be safe from these magics, from this ritual that you've undertaken, well, you are correct. But you're not inhabiting your physical form. You will have to make yourself useful to me. As he holds the thread between his fingers.
I mean, what did Tom do for you when he was here?
He tells you that he will not speak to you about Tom or about this little girl, Kana, or about Nodal for any of the others. It's best to stay focused on the task at hand. Which reminds me, very recently you've come into possession of a hand.
Sure, seems pretty random.
He says, I made an offer to you that I thought sounded very fair.
Mm-hmm.
And to put it very bluntly, you and the rest of Flumph Inc. went back on your word.
Well, we just have to... Look, we got the hand from killing a bunch of vampires. Your people should have come and gotten the hand from killing a bunch of us, but apparently they're incompetent. Like, they had us on their home turf and everything. Did a good job, though. I mean, the woman, at least, I'd probably not kill in retribution. I don't know about anybody else.
He says your mind is much more powerful than he was expecting. So if you're to get out of your predicament alive, you're going to have to give me permission. You're going to have to agree to me to give me what it is I want.
Yeah, but we did that before and it didn't work out so well for you. So why are we doing the song and dance again? Why don't you give me what I want, which is more information about your operations? Be a nice trade.
He thinks about this for a moment. This is very well. What is it you would like to know?
Who in Dunfoss can I kill to get you out of Dunfoss?
He seems a little sad. He says, well, who is your primary suspect?
I mean, the woman who escaped, the one with the wall of fire.
Do me a favor and make a wisdom saving throw, if you would, please.
Is this against magic or spell?
Sure is.
Say 13.
13.
From my understanding, most of the... I mean, it's entirely possible that someone like Surefoot might have lied and actually taken you up on the deal, but we haven't investigated them far enough to really dig into it, so...
And he continues asking you questions about your list of suspects,
Mm-hmm.
without confirming or denying any of them. The rest of you sitting in the barge. Very suddenly, Alex's eyes pop open, and he sits bolt upright. And he looks around the room kind of quizzically for a moment.
Alex, you okay?
And he says, I saw what he's going to do. We have to give him the hand.
Nope. I punch him.
Make it to hit roll.
That is a 17.
Alex, what's your AC?
I mean, I'm not wearing armor, so 12.
12. Alex, make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That's a... saves? Yeah, 8.
An 8. You suddenly, the entire world spins and rocks back and forth, and you see the creature reach out angrily with his other hand and try to grab at you, and before you know it, you're back in your body, sitting on your bed, and your head is ringing, and Gus is standing over you with a balled fist.
Counter spell.
Seeker. I mean, not Seeker. Alex, we can handle... We don't have to give him the hand. We can handle this, right?
No, we wouldn't want to give him the hand. That's what he's trying to get out of me.
That's what I thought.
Good man. That's
Instant-
your paycheck for the week.
I don't get paid.
You have a 400 gold bottle of whiskey.
And you earned it, buddy.
You
No,
did
Alex
get
has
paid.
that. It's in one of the lead-lined boxes.
I gave it to Alex, and then he hid it from me. So it probably wasn't smart of me, but...
Then
yeah,
you
by the way,
start
you took-
smelling smoke from Seeker's room.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Why do we keep bringing?
Like, I...
Run over to Seeker's room.
You throw the door open, and the pile of dresses, the laundry that he's left in the room, is burning with a hellish blaze, igniting everything in sight.
Oh fuck. Okay. I might have a spell for this.
After a few moments, Kevin
I
comes
do not.
dropping down the hallway.
I set the alchemist vial to salt water and start pouring it into buckets.
Okay?
Does Seeker have a window in his room?
Yeah.
You guys boarded up all
I-
the windows.
No, he boarded every window but mine because I refused to allow my window to be boarded because I wanted to be able to escape through it.
In case somebody set your shit on fire.
Uh-huh.
Gus is going to cast Absorb Elements and then run up and grab up the bundle of dresses and throw it out the frickin' window.
Shove
in
it out the
ocean.
window.
Yes.
Does Absorb Elements prevent damage? Or just
What
reduce
does what?
damage?
No, it gives me Absorb Elements gives me resistance to elements to a specific element.
Okay, and you're choosing fire?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's going to take you at least 3 arm loads to shove all this through. So you're going to be in contact for 3 rounds. Is that your intention?
I've got some absorb elements.
Okay. I'll do 2. You do 1.
All right, Gus, you're
Okay.
first.
Yep. Okay. That's.
23 fire damage from the first round.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a
That
low
I can
roll.
cut in half?
Yes.
Okay.
14 from the second round, which you can cut in half.
Okay.
And you're doing the last punch. 23 fire damage, which you can cut in half with absorb elements. Between that and the bucket line of salt water from your alchemy jug, you managed to put out the fire in the room, but there has been considerable damage, both to Seeker's stuff and to the structure of the ship here. As the room has... It was supernatural fire that caught in an instant.
So, Alex, is it safe to assume that we've bitten our thumb at the flying pig once again?
Well, I mean, he really wants that hand.
Does anybody have the mending spell?
Yeah.
We should probably start fixing the boat.
Yeah, go.
Things.
If you can get my smith's tools out of my lab, I'll get started here.
Seeker goes upstairs to make sure the fire didn't catch the ceiling.
No, he threw the stuff. All the burning dresses hit the water.
Gus is looking at his blistered arms. It says, "New rule: nothing the flying pig sends us comes on the barge."
That seems fair.
I mean, where is it safe to put it? Can't just leave it out in the street.
We could put it on the shore. There is a whole freaking outside over here. We can just store it in. We can build a lean-to if we have to.
We can build a second tiny barge.
I know a guy that we can hire to build a shack. Speaking of, did Heckram ever come back?
How long did you guys tell him to stay away for?
I told him to come back later that night. I just assumed
In that case,
he was out
yeah,
drinking and
he would
forgot.
have. That case, he would have returned by now. Still very apologetic for how things went.
Listen, if anybody needs to be thumped, it's Corio Fireblood, so I'm not mad at him about that.
Is anybody else doing
I'm
anything tonight?
Gus, go ahead and take a Cure Wounds for 9 healing.
Okay.
I'll take 1 for that.
Did you learn anything about the flying pig demon?
No, I mean, I'll describe him. And other than, transmuting my dream into something horrible. And, boy, did I learn that. I mean, he insinuated that there was somebody else in charge, I don't know, maybe someone who actually claims to have turned down the letter but accepted a different one.
Lucius.
Yeah.
Make an Arcana check, please.
Arcana.
It's a good game. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. On it, boss. You're looking at a 21.
21. Alex describes the creature he spoke to. And as he describes it, it sounds like the most generic devil you've ever heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you told a 5-year-old to draw a picture of what Satan looks like, that's what you get. This is a very Looney Tunes version of a devil. It doesn't conform to the description of any devil that you know of.
And Lucius will point that out. He'll say, "What you're describing to me, is if." Yeah. So, like I said, I'll say that is what you would see in religious text for children. Something to prepare them for the existence of these creatures, but not actually give them the full implications until they've matured enough to get the to understand the implications.
Well, you can take that up with him whenever we find him.
What that suggests to me is perhaps this creature, this flying pig, is put up a front.
So it's not
something. It is quite possible.
I mean,
But
he does
the
have...
only thing that I'm concerned about ostensibly he is still granting magical powers, the same as any warlock patron might.
Yeah, but all of his warlocks are like shit tier.
I think he's a bullshitter.
You think he's a charlatan? I'm starting to think that too.
No, I don't know whether or not he's a demon or not. That part I don't care about.
Devil.
All I know is that, for one thing, he was just like, oh, my incredible power has required you to do me a service in order to escape this place, and he got down by a punch.
Exactly. That's why I specifically chose the word charlatan.
Oh, also you took 5 points of damage when I punched you.
You took 1 point of damage. You're not a monk.
It's 1 plus your strength, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, damn, that hurts, bro.
When
Oh,
you're proficient, it's 1 plus your strength. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
My counter to that, though, he may be a charlatan, or at least not telling us the truth about who he is. But, and Florian points to the damage in Seeker's Room, still very much a threat.
I
Oh,
mean,
for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, thinking of it in that terms, that's easily explained away from some kind of delayed activation on a spell, waiting until such time that we would have placed it in a sensitive area, and then boom, it lights on fire.
Nah, it was an illusion spell. I got that one.
The illusion
there an
was it wasn't
illusion
going to
that
burst into
makes-
flames.
Is there an illusion that makes non-illusions look like illusions? So you can sneak them into boats to explode them?
It was
That
something
seems
more
very
than
specific.
It was nothing more than an illusion, and I'm sure that Gustavus could absolutely attest to the fact that those flames were real.
Oh, no, they were totally real.
No, they were
But-
real. I just don't know that was the enchantment on the clothes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm just happy that it wasn't my furniture that was ruined this time.
Cricket's just gonna ruin everyone's furniture one at a time.
Gus
I've
is like,
got a
that's
mending spell.
the 4th canoe I've had to bring home. So you guys are staying up the rest of the night casting mending hundreds and hundreds of times inside Seeker's Room?
They can do that if they want. I don't know the mending spell, and I'm going to be spending it doing that book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a book roll.
That's 22.
So knocking 12 off the book. You feel
So what did we learn by that?
We learned that talking to the flying pig is a waste of time.
So one thing
Fair
that
enough.
that has occurred to me when I briefly looked into the moss caps having their stuff changed, their patrols changed, and it briefly occurred to me that might have been because the flying pig has been trying to kill people, like key people. Like it has taken passes at Surefoot and Percival Penniless, and who else knows?
Warlock's
What if Warlock's Bane? What if the reason that the patrols were switched around so that to make it harder to detect movement, like the plots, because somebody that's their beat is this and they work it every day, they recognize things out of place.
You think things might be centered on this part of town?
Well, it wasn't just this part of town; it was every part of town that
It
had
was
their
all over town.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if that might be a possible lead, like to look into, saying that like if we could figure out who ordered the switchovers.
It seems reasonable.
It might be unrelated, but it is something that occurred to me because, like, if you're going to if you're going to do some flammery, you don't want to do it in front of somebody who can call you out on your bullshit.
Well, I've got a second corollary to that then, which is that if we think that they were moved because somebody who had been here the whole time, somebody who knew the area like a moss cap would know something was out of place, why don't we get one of the formal moss caps and show them around and ask them what's out of place?
somebody
Yes,
give me a wisdom check.
Somebody make a wisdom check.
Whoever wants to do it. As you guys are conversing about this.
I'll roll it,
Okay.
unless you've got like a plus to wisdom.
Nope. -2.
All right, that is a 13.
13. Let me
I'm burning my last foresight die.
Just correlate my notes real quick here.
It's almost like I asked a former moss cap to come and
Almost, but not quite. One of you's holding a letter addressed to the woman who runs the Dunfoss Mint, which is House Silverwolf, traditionally.
That's
which is
me.
the king's house. One of the other Silverwolves, a lesser son of the house, is named Hoodraud Silverwolf. He's been appointed head jailer, which is kind of gives him de facto control over many moss caps. You guys don't have any pretext under which to approach Hoodraud without drawing great suspicion, but you do have a letter of invitation to speak with a member of his family.
All right. Sounds good to me.
One of the things that I wanted to do with Heckram is I wanted to get everybody's permission to hire him for two things. One, to possibly go out into the city and speak to moss caps that he has formerly worked with to see if they have any idea on why they were, because they're probably more willing to talk to him than they would be us. And also, we don't have enough time to run around asking random moss caps things.
Okay.
And two, leave him on the boat to kind of possibly as at least a first line of defense when we're not here.
Here's the thing: is Heckram kind of, sort of pooched that deal already.
Yeah, I'm with Lucius on this one.
I don't mind the sending him around thing. I don't know that leaving him on the boat seems like a good plan.
Well, I mean, he doesn't
Last time
have
we left
anywhere
him
to
on the
go.
boat.
He does. He thought he was helping.
Okay, so to be clear, is this a question that you're asking us because you think that he'll be able to help, or are you trying to manage us towards coming to a conclusion you want us to come to?
I think he'll help. I think we can't be on the boat all the time. And we have an evil freaking hand on the boat.
Oh, I'm not leaving him with the hand.
No, I know, but that they're going to send somebody to search our boat at some point.
We've already searched our boat.
What occurs to me is that whatever the Flying Pig's reach is, he hasn't penetrated everything. Because if he had penetrated, say, Hawthorne House would have been chomping at the bit for that hand.
Yeah.
Well, second idea, if he had penetrated Hawthorne House, somebody who hadn't been penetrated might want to send us some kind of undercover message in order to let us know we should keep investigating.
Lucius
Alternately,
looks at the puzzle book.
Somebody if Hawthorne Horse hadn't been penetrated, somebody who had been managed might want to leave us some sort of bait to get us back down into a lair of cultists. Either way.
I'm not sure that I see the connection between the investigation and this puzzle book. You've lost me.
At the very
Hawthorne
least,
House's stance is officially Flumph Inc. is off of this investigation, but then somebody within Hawthorne House has very, very intensely implied that we will be getting access back to that place with this puzzle book.
Are you telling that to Brick Road? Because he knows.
Okay, fine. Just it's fine. Me vocalizing it, trying to puzzle that makes sense for myself. No, that's whatever.
you're fine.
You're fine, man. It's just jokes.
So,
Indy.
So at the very least, I think we should at least retain Heckram to go around and possibly poke into, see if he can't get some word from the other moss caps.
Yeah, that sounds.
How much?
That seems reasonable to me.
How much?
All right,
are you
you're
going
doing
to pay him
that.
for
I'll
this?
take a shift with the book, and I'm gonna need an actual rest because
Seeker already took a shift with the book.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the shift for the night.
Right. Oh, okay.
How much are we
Yeah, no,
paying Heckram for his services?
How much does Heckram owe before he loses his house?
That ship's more or less sailed.
Okay. How much How much does a room cost? Like if he were to rent a room somewhere.
Whatever. I mean, you can look in the PHB to see how much it costs for like to live in squalor for a day.
Okay,
versus,
okay. How much does a moss cap make in a day?
In a day, probably a couple of copper pieces. They're
Linda makes 30 gold pieces a month, and that's half the rate of a skilled worker.
Yeah, but Linda's skilled.
Right.
She's a goddamn
Heckram
professional.
skills are in assaulting our clients.
Listen, you really cannot be mad at him for that. The ponds.
There is an answer to this question. It's either in the PHB or the DNG, one of the two. It tells you how much it is to like take on a hired thug for the day.
Okay, hold on.
That would be about what's
Unskilled
fair.
labor. Unskilled labor. I think is silver piece. It would be 30 silver.
Unskilled labor would be like move a pile of bricks.
Yep.
Heckram is more like he has some combat training, and he has connections inside the moss caps you're looking to make use of. So he's not entirely unskilled, and he's a combatant, which means he's got a stat block.
Mm-hmm.
That just means he takes our EXP though. That's a lower on his value.
So whatever. I mean, we can answer that question definitively for next week. So we'll have to let's actually look it up.
Sounds good.
Tomorrow,
We're gonna pay him very little.
A fun thing happens tomorrow morning that you guys may or may not spend the day dealing with. Criers go up and down the town, ringing bells and hollering at great excitement that the Whistler has been spotted off the horizon, and this is causing great merriment in town. The Whistler is the pirate ship captained by Sigurd Tensails, who is a favorite folk hero amongst the downtrodden of Dunfoss. His tales of adventure and plunder on the high seas are told from one end of the city to another, and that the Whistler has been spotted on the horizon, that Sigurd Tensails himself is going to make landfall, and he's returned to Dunfoss. Everybody's speculating what his ship is loaded down with. There's even people in town who consider that Sigurd Tensails might be in the running for the next king of Dunfoss because he is so loved by the commons.
Is the death of the king public knowledge yet?
Nobody's talking about it today, that's for sure.
Like, they still have not announced that the king has officially died, right?
There's been no announcement to that effect. No.
Yeah, I mean that Alex is just I mean, if you wanted any more verification that the king's dead.
I think we should try and get an audience with Mr. Sigurd.
And if nothing else, we can warn him that somebody's already taken a shot at some of the other candidates.
Well,
Maybe he needs the plates.
His ship's not in the harbor yet. It's just been spotted out on the horizon, so it might be another couple of hours. And there are big festivities in the harbor. Lots of crowds are forming up there. It's going to be quite a spectacle.
Yep. Does that turn to a lot of... Oh no, this is the harbor. Never mind.
That turned into people exploding into insects.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Or lightning devils throwing lightning bolts from little rods.
So he'll be pulling into one of the 4 harbors, although it's not... You guys don't know which one. You have a few hours to find out, which we'll take up when we pick it up next week. Let me make sure that my calendar doesn't have any more notes on it. This might be the busiest week I have on the calendar, note-wise.
Lucius.
Yes.
I'm starting to be convinced by your theory that the flying pig monster might not be exactly who he says he is. But that leads to a bigger question. Say you are this powerful magic user, so powerful enough that you're able to turn people into warlocks. Why lie about who you are? Why deceive? Why try to pretend something when you're already reached that incredible amount of power?
Something that can't be gained by simply flaunting that power? the best I've got right now.
One of the things that confuses me about the flying pig is everything he's done has been really indirect. They've never, even the attacks on our home have been indirect and very infrequent, especially if we have a thing he wants.
That is the modus operandi for the Deities. They don't. If these were demons, then they would tear through this entire city, slaughter and or enslave every single person here, and burn our place to the ground until they found what they're looking.
But it said he wants to make deals.
Yes.
Okay. The reason the thing that came to mind is, the Moss Caps were asking if I had gained. They were insinuating, asking if I had warlock powers from other things besides demons and devils, and I was wondering if possibly it could be something other than a demon or a devil.
Oh, no, make no mistake, that does exist as well.
Like maybe some kind of archfey being a jackass.
Like Garl Glittergold?
That's
All
clerics.
Gold is not an Archfey.
How do you know?
Because I know him very well. We've done work together.
Is there anything else we need to address before we call the session for the week?
Mm-mm.
All right, so as it stands now, you guys have 72 riddles to go in the book.
And in the campaign?
Is that
No,
it?
that would be more
72?
than-
We got 99 riddles, but answering one of them.
33,500 in debt. It's pretty good. And when we come back, we'll see how you guys handle Sigurd Tensails and his return to Dunfoss. Are any of you for Tensails as the next king?
We haven't met him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
I'll-
take a measure of the man.
You haven't met him
That's kinda
personally,
why Lucius is...
but I mean, the folk stories about him are numerous. It's kind of
Okay.
impossible to live in Dunfoss and not have formed an opinion about Tensails one way or the other.
All right, I will tell you what my opinion is, but you have to answer a question for me.
Okay.
Does he speak with the Yar pirate accent?
No, that's ridiculous.
Okay, then no, I'm not for him.
Fair enough.
I can assure anyone who knows that the key is making your life into a story.
I believe
Lucius
that
is-
Alex is on the side of anyone who isn't Journey.
Lucius is of the mind that he wants to take a measure of the man personally before he decides that for himself or not.
Okay.
Florian isn't from Dunfoss, so I don't know if he has strong opinions on
No, but he's lived here for long enough to know the stories of him. Basically, he was a pirate way back in the day, during the time of Juliana I. And Juliana, instead of sending out the navy to bring him to bear and going to war with him, turned him into a privateer. So he started pirating for the good of Dunfoss and bringing back holds full of treasure. So he endeared himself to many of the nobles at the time.
So what you're saying is he was present when back in the day when we okay. I wonder if he remembers.
How old is he?
Juliana I only died about 20 years ago or so.
Oh, okay, never mind.
You
He
guys
wasn't
are
there when-
thinking about the previous Humbirth.
Right. Is he a human?
Yes. Yes. So that would have been about 18 years ago is when she died. There have been 3 kings since then, but remember 2 of them were very, very short-lived. And then you've had Maximilian, who's only been king for about 12 years.
Okay.
So everybody's super excited that his hold filled with gold and treasure and stories of adventure are coming. Like, he's been in some other D&D campaign that's much more exciting than this one.
How does he feel about magic?
In the stories, he's always depicted... I mean, the stories people hear about him is he's a talented magician in his own right. That he wields magical weapons, and he's fought vast monsters, and tricked dragons out of their hordes, and that kind of thing.
Oh, good. The Seeker will get along with him. We have somebody who tricked a dragon.
Oh, thanks for reminding me that dragon exists and is plotting against Seeker as we speak.
Listen, I'm just here for the dragon to come back. That's all I'm waiting for.
Okay. I'm going to go dark for 2 seconds while I set up a straw poll, and you guys can think about some blips.
Party goals.
Yeah, look at dice now. They're crazy magic now.
Alexander, for doing the dream sequence.
Yeah, sure. Didn't seem to have done anything.
I mean, you're the one who jumped on the grenade, though.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
my read on it was I was the only one who knew how to prepare that ritual, but sure, yeah, let's give me some blips for it.
Stop.
Who most creative?
Seeker, for speaking with the pet shop owner. I thought I was being clever by going and getting Seeker and letting him use his little speak with animals thing. And then he had to show me up.
Showboating isn't my nature. Alright, badass.
See, I was gonna say Alexander was the badass for talking with the demon, but
Well, then do you have something else for?
I guess it is a party goal too. So
Do you have anything for party goals?
Shall we move on to intangibles?
sure.
It looks like a climbing wall.
Intangibles. I say Lucius for losing his shirt, and then going,
yeah,
and then having to wade through a pigsty.
And definitely putting a hit on a guy.
Yeah.
I can only speculate who's going to die, but what is this? What are you doing?
What? Wow.
Party goals.
Party goals. That could be.
I'm gonna give it to Florian for the best for the best reading of only telling people what I would tell them in combat and just thinking the yes or no answers,
right.
but thinking really hard about them.
For not he gets party goals for not being for toning down Florian.
for being Florian in the best possible way. That was so funny.
Who wants to make a case for personal blips first?
Let's see. Where's my notes?
I'll go. So I've got my flaw. I'm sure we can handle this for sassing the devil. And then I've got my alignment, lawful neutral. Always be willing to take the law into your own hands, but no further. For having talked to the member of the Black Cloaks about the hand and not just handing it over, like for having concealed that.
You either owe Gus some gratitude for punching you, or your own failed saving throw for what the hell is happening on this table.
We don't know.
We're not allowing this. This is...
Physics have broken.
Physics have been suspended.
All of you are done.
The shadow state.
That was one of the rare cases where you definitely wanted to fail a saving throw.
Yeah.
Anything else for me?
Nope.
Okay, who else wants to go?
I could go.
Yeah.
Seeker.
Alright, I've got chaotic good. Good is only taking from those that can afford it. Chaos is taking them for all they're worth. for helping out the Tressum lady for only what information she can get, since she clearly didn't have any money to throw around. And I've got opportunities everywhere, if you can see it, for going in there and making sure that every single possible person knew that we were helping her and helping the town, so that if we then later need to have a good story about how we're these helpful people going out and helping the town, they'll be on our side. And I've got anybody can be fooled except for me for coming up with a plan in order to locate the flying pig using these dresses and then getting them all set on fire in my bedroom.
That's pretty good. I look forward to using Echo the Mouse later in the campaign. We'll have to...
I can go.
Go ahead.
For all we know, he'll be on the barge by the end of it.
Dunfoss is burning and we just sail off in the barge. Neutral good. I must be a benefactor and strive to leave things in a better state than I found it for my continued efforts to find Kana.
Okay.
And pretty much to the exclusion of everything else.
Pretty much. And you still didn't find her, so good job.
Listen, I'm a fighter. I fight things. I'm a terrible investigator.
A fighter, not a finder.
Right. I was hired to punch things, which I did, which leads me into the next thing.
Yeah.
My companions are my support structure. It's my ideal. And I must do what I can to protect them from themselves. Because as soon as Alexander popped up and said, we have to do what he's no, we have to give him the thing, I immediately punched him, because that's not a thing Alex would say. His response would be, no, we're fine. We got this. And the video.
Okay. And who's next?
I'll go.
Lucius.
I have my alignment, lawful neutral. Take your place in society, work well for your fellow people, take care of your own. And Lucius took care of his own by channeling some care and energy into telling Father Oswald that someone was scamming in his gambling establishment.
Okay.
I have my flaws, double or nothing, for going all in and losing his signet ring. For trying to get one up on this guy.
No, that didn't come into play.
Miserably.
I don't see the correlation there.
Nah.
Anything else?
And that's all I got today.
Florian. What you got for me?
Flaws. There's always an explanation, and we must always consider it for making it significantly more difficult for Seeker to solve riddles in the riddle book.
That's right. I wanted to give you intangibles for that.
No more riddles for Florian. He doesn't understand what the point of a riddle is.
No, that's the problem. He really does.
I'd like to put Florian in the riddle hallway in that goblin tower.
My next plan, if we needed to finish this quickly, was, okay, we're going to give Florian riddle number 100, and we're going to ask him to figure out what the question is.
Florian,
Skip the rest of the book.
what else do you have for me?
There are infinite truths. We must experience as many as we can and figure out their validity for coming around to Lucius's hypothesis about the flying pig demon.
Okay.
And he was definitely not true neutral, because he definitely did as his comrade suggested. So just the two.
And who had the most creative solution to a problem?
Seeker, for talking to, what was her name? Hold on, I have it here.
Crazy elf lady.
Jimamine?
The Barmy Elf.
Jimamine Sweetgrass.
The Barmy Elf?
Listen, I thought I was being smart by going, it's like, oh, this woman has a magical talking mouse. I'm going to go get the man who can talk to mice. And then we come back and she's just crazy. And Seeker just solved that problem.
Well, it didn't solve the problem so much as correctly assessed the problem.
Right.
Like, she's still crazy. That hasn't been fixed. Who furthered the party's goals the most?
That was Florian, for toning down the Florian and just answering with very, very deliberate yes and no questions. That's correct, right? That's what we decided on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who was the badass?
it was very good.
Alexander, for speaking with the demon.
I was 100% prepared to kill Alexander in that scene.
Yeah. But there was very little I could do to avoid that, so I'm not giving them anything.
I think I'm like, they've got like 4 more freebies. I might as well use them up.
Like, very little you could do. Might as well get the sass in now.
And where's Intangibles going?
To Lucius for losing his ring and then
Putting a hit out on a guy.
tromping through a pig pen to what we presume to be to put a hit out on a guy. Yeah.
Okay. And Florian has our poll this week.
Fine.
So Alex started the session with 4. You're taking 3, so you're rolling over at least 1. We're level 5 still currently. Is that correct?
Yep.
Correct. Yeah.
So blips are worth 250. So Alex, you have to roll 1. Would you like to roll more or go next week with 6?
I have to check my XP total.
Florian came in with 3. You earned 4. So same deal. You have to roll over at least 1.
Yeah, I'll roll over 1.
Okay, go next session with 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going in with 6 too. I
Okay.
have a lot of XP on the way.
Gus, you earned 3. You started with 6, so you're rolling over all 3.
Mhm.
Lucius,
Hey,
you had 3 and you earned 3. Would you just like to keep all of them?
I had 5 by my count.
You had 5 and you spent 2 on a
Yeah.
reroll, so you have 3.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know if you were. Yeah, no, I'm fine. Go rolling in with 6.
And Seeker had 6 and earned 4.
Okay. What are they worth?
250 each.
Okay.
Cool, grand.
That is all for blips this session. Next session, I'll make sure you guys have some completely lopsided combat, since we didn't have any this week. I figured coming off of 2 weeks of Dungeon Hack, we might just spend a week in town.
Ricker, can I read to you a line from the Storm King's Thunder Player's Handbook? Or
Sure.
DMG?
Go ahead.
With the DM's permission, a person who casts the Find Familiar spell can choose to conjure a Tressum instead of a normal cat.
Right.
How do you feel? How do you feel about that one?
I mean, I've already got Tressums invading one game for no good reason. I think they're just regular beasts, right? Like they're not even.
It's a tiny beast.
Yeah, they're just regular animals. They're not even like magical monsters or something.
Nope.
They're just cats with bird wings for some
Yep.
reason. I mean, I think your eagle and your bat friend would both be very upset with you.
They're the
No, 'cause
same
it's
thing.
the same thing. He just gets a different name.
He knows it's different.
He or she, depending on the animal. Don't judge a spirit.
All right, so next week we'll see about Sigurd 10 Sails, and we'll see how you guys feel